All right. Here we are. Here it is. We're under an hour until the Super Bowl. I won't be streaming too long. I just obviously wanted to get in here for a pregame. And, man, how about this season? It all comes down to this Super Bowl 56, Rams, Bengals. This is exactly what I think we all deserve. There's some parity. This is not a Super Bowl that you would expect coming into the season. You know, you got to give a lot of credit to the other side. Zach Taylor was literally the favorite to be the first coach fired coming into the year. Betting odds favorite. So there's a lot, to be appreciative of, being a fan of either of these teams. But as somebody that has covered the Rams since 2016, has followed them since pretty much the day I was born, I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but just roll with it. This is just this is what it's like. This is what it's all about. So, look, I'll be real with you right now. For those of you who are curious and are concerned and are superstitious, yes, I am wearing my Terrell Burgess jersey underneath my OBJ jersey. OBJ, I think, is going to have a very good game. I think he is going to ball out, and I wouldn't be surprised if he scores the first touchdown of the game. I'm very high on what OBJ can do. I'm thinking he's going to score. Anytime score, 100% would be hitting that on any sports book. Would be going on Prize Picks. You can go over to Prize Picks, use promo code DTRAMS. Shameless plug there. I would definitely go over, and I would definitely go and put a bet down on OBJ going over his 63.5 yards, because I think that's what's going to happen. Look, the Rams are going against a team that's going to play a lot of defense where they drop 8. And what that means is essentially they're not going to rush the passer in a way that they are blitzing. They're not going to show their hand. What the Bengals want to do is the same way that they basically attack Patrick Mahomes, is that they let Patrick Mahomes make the mistakes. They move back. Patrick Mahomes is going to force himself into issues, and we're going to play our game. We're going to get a 4-man, 5-man rush going. We're not going to blitz. We're going to be creative. We're going to be disciplined, and we're going to make him beat us, and he could not do that. So now you look at the Rams. You have Matthew Stafford. You have all of the weapons that they have. There's going to be certain things that they want to do, taking out Cooper Kupp out of the mix, and I would say go for it. Take out Cooper Kupp. Allow the Rams to make it obvious, hey, we can't go to Cooper Kupp in this game because we got 2-3 guys on him. No big deal. I'll go to Van Jefferson, who's now healthy after spending 2 weeks recovering. I'll go to, Odell Beckham Jr. I'll go to Cam Akers on a wheel route. I'll go to, Darrell Henderson. Oh, maybe I'll just go to Kendall Blanton because you don't see that coming. The bottom line is this. The Rams have so many weapons at their disposal, and they have a quarterback in Matthew Stafford who literally has more comeback wins than anybody since he entered the league. He has the best passer rating of any quarterback this year in the second half of games. And when his best is required, that is when his best comes out. So this is somebody, hasn't thrown a pick in the fourth quarter, has done a really nice job all season long. You have that defense playing extremely well under Raheem Morris. The Rams should win this game. I believe they do. And part of me is sitting here thinking, I have 30-27. No score over the last 38 Super Bowls, meaning there hasn't been a Super Bowl that has had the same score as another one in 39 years. So the last 38 Super Bowls have not been repetitive scores, if you count all those 38. That is something very interesting, and obviously the 30-27 score that I predicted has never happened in those 38 years, so there's a chance that that's the case. However, I will say this. I said 30-27. I think it's going to be a Rams-controlled game. I think Burrow is going to go down the field. I think he is going to make it close at the end, but I think the Rams will be in the driver's seat to win their second Super Bowl and their fourth championship in their history. However, I am starting to believe, and this is not a jinx, because when you get to this point, like Kurt Warner said on the program earlier today, you get to this point, you throw the superstitions out, okay? Maybe I didn't because I have the Burgess jersey underneath, and you guys know the Burgess jersey has some sort of superstition in there. Anyway, here's the thing. The Rams are better than the Bengals. It's all about playing up to your standard, playing your style. But at the same time, I went back and I watched some of my old videos because I was making this really baller video, by the way, that I will post as soon as the Super Bowl ends and if the Rams, of course, win. Now, here's the deal, okay? Going back and watching my takes on the Ravens game and the Vikings game, I really feel like it's very simple. If the Rams play their game, they're going to win by multiple possessions. If they don't play their game, they still have a chance to win, and that's a credit to how great this team is and how much this team has evolved and adapted. It's adapt or die. That is the way this thing is. That's the way it's always worked. And the fact of the matter is this. When you look at the Rams and you look at what they've been through, the 3-game losing streak, losing Cam Akers before the season even freaking started, having all of the issues that they had with the defense early on, trying to get that thing going and not being number one, and having all the pressure on the first-year defensive coordinator for the Rams in Raheem Morris. Here's the thing. Special teams unit was one of the worst in the league. They pushed themselves all the way up to the top 5. This is the way the Rams have operated all season long. They have continued to change their approach when they are not stubborn. They are not complacent, and that is why they're in this game. And I think this is a big thing because you look at how this game could go. I could see, once again, I think it's very clear Cincinnati is not going to, tip their hand for everything, but it's very clear they've tipped their hand on what they're going to do with Cooper Kupp. They are petrified of Cooper Kupp, and so because of that, I'll say this, okay? I think when you look at the Bengals and you look at, the way that they play their style of game, go back to the Chiefs game. You see Tyreek Hill. You see Travis Kelce. These guys are getting open. Well, what's the big thing for Tyreek Hill in that game? Is that he's on whoever's on him, whether it be Eli Apple or Chidobe Awuzie. And I'm not trying to trash them, but I'll say this. When they put Mike Hilton on him, the best nickel corner in football, when they put Mike Hilton on Tyreek Hill, he was not as explosive. He didn't dominate. He was pretty much covered up. I'm not saying they can do that to Cooper Kupp, but what I'm saying is that I think the Rams are going to be the team that makes the adjustment. If they want to take Cooper Kupp away, we'll run the damn ball. You guys are literally giving up 5.7 yards per carry, so we'll have no issue running with Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Sony Michel, and enjoy doing that. If you then see that, okay, they're going to try to take this away, they're going to try to sell it to stop the run. We saw the Cardinals do that. The Cardinals did that the second game of this season, and when the Cardinals did that in the second game, the Rams were then able to start getting Cooper Kupp going. So here's the deal, okay? The Rams have a opportunity to beat anything thrown their way, and the thing that I love so much that makes me confident that they will be victorious tonight is the fact that Sean McVay has been there. And I know that sounds like ridiculous, but here's how it works. I understand he wasn't great in the Super Bowl, but he didn't get blown out. It was a 13-3 game and pretty much a very defensive battle until both offenses woke up in the fourth quarter. Let's call it like it is. Sean McVay has been there. What do I always say when the Rams lose? I say when the Rams lose, you learn more in your losses than you do in your wins. And I think that's the case with Sean McVay in that Super Bowl. He's finally back. He's understood it is a mountain to climb. When you get to the Super Bowl and you lose, it's hard to get back. And I think with Sean McVay, he appreciated the process, and I think he got a little bit carried away with the 2 weeks of preparation. I think he overthought himself, whereas Bill Belichick was in his, sixth Super Bowl? And Bill Belichick is sitting there like, I know what to do. I've been there, done that. This is easy for me. Sean McVay was not. So now Sean McVay doesn't have those rookie jitters. Sean McVay has gone through this process. He knows what works and what does not work. And I think with Zach Taylor, he doesn't know that. I think it's one of those things where the media was very, very quick. When the Rams and the Patriots dueled out in that Super Bowl, they were very quick to point out it was always the experience factor. It was Bill Belichick. It was Tom Brady. It was been there, done that. I'm going to take the Patriots over the Rams. However, what I've seen is those same people are saying you can't bet against Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow. I think he is an incredible talent. I've enjoyed watching him throughout the years, LSU or, with the Bengals. But here's the thing. It's a great story. It doesn't mean that if he loses, it's the end of Joe Burrow, but we need to calm down just a little bit, and here's why. Because Joe Burrow and Matthew Stafford have the same amount of Super Bowl appearances. But here's the good thing. If you're a Matthew Stafford, you have Sean McVay, and you have a lot of those coaches that came back over from that Super Bowl, and Sean McVay has the experience. He's going to be able to tell Stafford little things, give him some hints, tips, things like that. He's been in the game before. I don't think he's going to fold, and so for that reason, I feel very confident. You look at Odell Beckham Jr. This is the guy that they were calling 28 or 4 catches, 28 yards for years after he had the Giants, the boat, obviously the boat picture, and then going out and then in the playoffs only having 4 catches, 28 yards. Okay, well, he just did what he did against the 49ers going over 110. This is the thing, okay? I think Odell is going to play his best when his best is required. I still don't think you can completely take Kupp out of the realm, and even if you do, other guys can step up. And last week, guys, let's call it like it is. Last week was like playing in a Super Bowl. The Rams were playing in the same arena. The Rams were playing against a team that they can't beat, and then all of a sudden they beat them. The Super Bowl is like playing against a team that you feel like you can't beat because you can beat them, and you absolutely can, but this is the final 2, and anything can happen, and so you're always like, man, one thing and I might lose this game. So I feel really good about where the Rams are at. I'm not going to talk smack or anything in regards to the Bengals sucking. I'm just going to say I have 30-27. I think that they are going to win this game, and I would not be surprised if they win comfortably. I'm not saying blowout, but I'm saying if they win comfortably, I would not be surprised. I do think what we fail to understand and what we fail to remember is that with 2 weeks and no football being played besides the Pro Bowl, which, come on now, is too untouched, you got to give the media some little bit of leeway because there's not much to talk about. You can say, oh my God, media week, there's so much to talk about. Not really. It's a lot of regurgitated stuff. It's a lot of the same things being said. It's interviews that were had years ago that are just now on the grandest stage. So that's the thing. And I think really going into this game, we're going to see who the best team really is. And I do think that is the Rams. But I will say this. The Bengals are a good football team. They are not going to go away lightly. They're not going to go down lightly. They're not going to go away. And I don't think that this is necessarily a team where if Joe Burrow were to struggle, they would be done the way some people think. I do think if they can run the football, they would have a chance. If they can generate some turnovers, they have a chance. So it's a lot of those two things. And I'll say this right now because I keep seeing it. Aaron Donald is not retiring. Just because Rodney Harrison we owe our thanks to because, well, this is a bad thing to say, but just because Rodney Harrison knocked out Trent Green, which then allowed Kurt Warner to become the next Rams great quarterback, does not mean that Rodney Harrison knows what he's talking about in regard of Aaron Donald. He threw something out there. People are going to run with it, just like they did with Sean McVay, because we don't learn our lesson. We continue to consume all of this stuff, and that's it. Aaron Donald's not retiring, so let's throw that out of the equation right now. Here's what we know. It's very simple, okay? When it comes to this game, we know that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be extended after this game in all likelihood. He's willing to take a pay cut. The Rams are likely going to extend him after the game. Not right after, but maybe. Not long after. Stafford. They're already talking about getting negotiations going with Stafford after the game, as well as Sean McVay. And Von Miller, while he could come back, he is going to explore options in free agency like I expected. So that's what's going to happen. No, Sean McVay's not retiring. He was asked if he would coach until 60. He doesn't think he'll coach until 60, and somehow that got turned into he's retiring after this year. Not happening. Aaron Donald, that is entirely something that Rodney Harrison made up. He has no proven facts or anything. He has nothing to back that up. He said he could see Aaron Donald retiring. Exactly, Red State Rams. It's filler talk, and that's what happens when you get to the big game, you get to the Super Bowl, you're talking constantly. I know I've been on all sorts of shows talking about the different players. I know everybody on each team. Like, I get it. There's filler talk that needs to be had, but it gets ridiculous when you're just making up stuff. So that is the thing there. The game is going to start soon. You're absolutely right. We're about 40 minutes away from the game starting. Man, this is going to be really good, I think. But I do think that there is a chance that when it comes down to, the Rams are going to win the game, but I do think there's a chance that they can win comfortably. I'm not going to say that that is what happens, but I do think there's a chance that happens. I think, again, you have Stafford, you have Odell. I think, when the best is required, I think Von Miller, who's already been in this position, I think Aaron Donald is going to step up. I think you'll see some great things out of Andrew Whitworth at left tackle playing what could be his last game. And I would also say Eric Weddle. I think Eric Weddle, I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I will not be surprised if Eric Weddle is what seals the deal. If Al Michaels goes out, say he leaves NBC, like, some of the reports are saying, if he leaves NBC calling Burrow down the field, looking for Chase, picked off by Weddle, and the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl, I won't be surprised. I wish I could figure out a way to bet on Eric Weddle being the MVP, Super Bowl MVP. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know where any of that is. I just can't find it on 4 or 5 different sports books. So if anybody knows that, definitely DM me, let me know so I can try to get in on that before the game. But appreciate everyone being in here. Appreciate you guys following me the whole way, following this team, following this channel, whether it be Rams, whether it be me gaming, MCU, horror movies, just whatever I have been doing on this channel. I've even talked about NBA at times, NHL, betting. You guys have been so supportive, and it's allowed me to, in my opinion, take the next step in what I believe that this channel is going to become. So I'm really excited for the future. I think the Rams are going to win. Regardless of what happens tonight, I'll be here. I might be here way more upset and not as pumped as I am right now. Obviously if they lose, but I'll be here. Don't you worry. We'll talk about it. It'll be therapeutic for us, but I don't think that's what's going to happen. I think there's going to be some celebrating. I might not go live right away. I'm going to try to go live right away, but there might be a little celebrating because, I'm going to have family over and whatnot. So it's not going to be too long. I'm talking maybe a 10-minute delay, but just be sure to keep it here on this channel. We'll have, all sorts of coverage following the post game. It's going to be fun, and I really feel like the Rams are going to win tonight. So I don't believe in the fact, you can't really jinx when you get to the final two. Like Kurt Warner said, there's no superstitions. They're out the window. The best team is going to win, and he believes it's going to be the Rams. Yes, that's right. Kurt Warner, who everybody is always bagging on for picking against the Rams, picked the Rams this week. We also got, Chris Broussard picked the Rams. Nick Wright thinks they win in a blowout. I don't quite think that, but we'll see. You're thinking Ramsey pick 6, Preston? I guess we'll see. I could totally see, a Greg Gaines pressure, getting in Burrow's face, throwing, to the far side and getting picked off by Ramsey and taken to the house. But just so you guys know, the Downtown Rams podcast will likely be recorded tomorrow, and we'll have that up probably around noon-ish. So look out for that. But I will be going live on this channel. And keep it right here on this channel. After this, we'll have the post game. And after that, we'll have plenty of coverage, whether it be about the Rams. There's going to be a lot of news about the Rams because they have to do a lot of different things to get back that salary cap that I've been talking about. They have a pathway to over $60 million in salary cap, but they need to make a lot of moves to do it. It's possible. It's very possible. But it's also, it's legwork. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the NFL draft. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be covering other things on the channel, but do not worry. The season may end tonight, regardless of who wins or not. But this is just getting started. We're not going anywhere. We're going to have plenty of coverage, so don't go anywhere as well. But that is going to do it for me. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to this, I guess, quick pregame. But, you guys are awesome. You know that. We'll be back. Be sure to place a bet on Odell Beckham Jr. anytime scorer. You'll thank me later. So that's going to do it for me. You guys take care. Go Rams. And hopefully I'll see you guys, when the Rams become world champions. We'll see, but I feel pretty good about it. Let's go Rams. Later, guys.